hello there. Well, welcome to the stream. Looks like there's not many people in here, but this is the first time I've ever done this, so do forgive me for that. Obviously, if there's anything wrong with the audio, please let me know. I'm going to try and keep an eye on this, but bear with me, guys. So, obviously, as you may know, our album came out Friday, so that was yesterday. And I was going to do a little chat through some of the tracks, so I've got them here. And I think at a later stage we'll probably break down songs individually and talk about the nitty-gritty more. But for the time being, I'm going to play them through. Hopefully the audio's okay, and we'll see how we get on. So if my button here works, we'll see how we go. Oh wow, look at that. So here we go. Got the older session. So I'm gonna click play. First song's Believe. This one actually started during the pandemic. We had us all sat at home twiddling our thumbs, so figured why don't we create some music. So Dean was at one end and we're working remotely, and this one sort of came up out of nowhere in my mind. I had a chorus and some of the parts and the melody, which later Dean then took and developed, and we ended up obviously with what we have now. But I think I had the starting melody of the chorus and part of the verse, and I just cut out midway through the recording because I was like, I've got nothing else. So anyway, let's dive in and listen to it now, and hope you enjoy it. Let's go.
I just wanna feel alive. I just wanna feel alive. So put your hand in mine. Now I know I don't need to be afraid. Together now, and with you I believe.
There you go. So that was Believe. Yeah, sort of a more punchy, fast out of the blocks. Thought we'd do that. Sadly, the stream doesn't seem to have gone live to YouTube, so if you're watching this back, I'll upload it to YouTube, and apologies about that, but it'll be there to watch anyway. So next song, Severed. We did this one with the amazing Droid Bishop, and my word, what a phenomenal man he is. His guitar work, let alone his stunning vocals, just really worked so well with this track. And I think Dean had originally written the basis of the track for this. We didn't have a chorus vocal, but he started with, we felt like we wanted something a bit darker and a bit more driving, and this track went through many twists and turns along the way, but I think Dean said, what about approaching Joy Bishop? And I was like, do you reckon he'll be up for that? And Dean was like, yeah, we'll give it a go. So we dropped him an email, and he was like, yeah, I love this. And it's funny, actually, because given that I mix the tracks, I took the track originally in a different direction. It was probably a bit too heavy on the drums, and I think for Droid's preference, he was a bit more like, no, can we have a bit more like this? And so I had to sort of compromise a lot, and we were having discussions about how it was going to work. And in the end, this is what we came up with. Absolutely love the guitar solo. It's so tasteful. It really works into the melody and the hook as well. And it was an absolute pleasure to release this. So enjoy. And thanks everybody for the comments about the album. Really, really appreciate that. Myself and Dean are so grateful. And I'm sorry Dean's not here at the moment. He's actually quite busy this evening. So, but we did promise we'd do this today. So I'm gonna jump in and do it. But next time we do a live, we'll both hopefully be sat here, and we can actually dive in, because obviously you can see I've got the masters here, and not the individual tracks, like the breakdown of the whole mix itself. But I would do the whole session at a later date. Anyway, let's get into it, because I'm an absolute waffle machine. Sorry about that.
Deep inside, I know I should be letting go.
Woo! Come on, quicker fade, Adam. Come on. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that was Severed with Joy Bishop. I flipping absolutely love that guitar work. I can see Dean's in the Facebook chat. He's come and joined us. Welcome, Dino. Welcome. Air drums, yes. Sadly, I don't even realise I'm doing it half the time. But yeah, it'll be air guitar, air drums all the way through this because there's plenty of it. But yeah, super proud of that track. Love it. Next track, Brighter Days. This one sort of came out of nowhere, but I think Dean brought this one, and I'm trying to remember the chorus. Yeah, we did it mainly during the pandemic, I think. So it's one of these ones that's sort of slow grower. Dean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we'd recorded the vocals in London, and then it's one of those ones that goes through loads of changes, and you're like, oh, do we change this? We change this part, and then we went away to finish it, and then that's just where the track really grew. So yeah, super happy with it. It's quite a dancey vibe. It's the one that is the lead single on the album that came out Friday. Anyway, let's dive in and have a listen to it. Thanks, Craig. I'll continue the air drumming. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we, friends?
So now it's become all so clear. We can't stay here. And the day that we would go would be all I ever think of. The further we go, the closer we are. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. I'm unprepared, I'm falling apart. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. We can make a better life, or at least start feeling better. But these things, they take time, and I think it's now or never. The further we go, the closer we are. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. I'm unprepared, I'm falling apart. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. I'd stay up and hope that things would one day change. I'd stay up and hope. I'd hope for brighter days.
The build.
The further we go, the closer we are. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. I'm unprepared, I'm falling apart. But I don't wanna know if we'll make it that far. I'd stay up and hope that things would one day
So that was Brighter Days. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. I loved the little motifs we put in, like the guitar line and the claps, and how we sort of switched them up and alternated them. And the vocal in the second part of the chorus, I think it's from the second chorus onwards, feels quite well. I'm a sucker for Kelly Clarkson stuff, so the vocal line is like, Kelly Clarkson, stay up there. Absolutely love it. So yeah, really, really proud of that one. Good job, Dino. This next one, it's called Tell Me It's Over. It was a single a couple of months back. It's a lot more of a deep song. I think there's a lot more meaning to this one, probably for Dean as he wrote it. Or lyrically, he wrote it, and foundations of the song, definitely. Really, really builds. And I think start of it was originally how it was meant to sound probably the whole way through, and then was a band that we really loved called The Night Game, and we were like, oh, should we do some more this sort of stabby, punchy, keys, guitars, drums, and then there's this bit in the middle where I think it sort of threw Dean and his Mrs. Sam a little bit at the time when I showed them it, but it does these sort of walks around the keys. It's like da 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 stuff, and but it's all jazz at the end of the day, right? But you'll see what I mean. But anyway, it starts really soft, builds, and then the end of it is just, well, I went as massive as I possibly could. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. This is Tell Me It's Over. Don't cry, guys, don't cry. Let's go.
Did you give up, or didn't I do enough? We never made amends when all was said and done. Tell me it's over now. I never did find out.
That one really has a right kick at the end, doesn't it? I love it. Super proud of that. Next song. This one's called One More Day, and originally it started off as a remix for a much bigger act than us, and so we delved in and really sort of went to town on it, and we're really happy with the production, and things just sort of fizzled out, and I was like, well, I'm not going to just leave this song to never be used, so I unbeknownst, and whatever the word is, we'll just scratch that. I'm going to edit that out. Unbeknown. Never mind. I took the song, and Dean wasn't aware I was doing this, but I just wrote this vocal, and I was like, oh, I've got the perfect person who could sing on it, and her name is Rachel Jane, a phenomenal artist. She's more R&B sort of side of things, but no, she's a very good friend, and she was up for singing on the track, so this is what you get now. But this is probably a little bit more of a segue into pushing other genres a little bit for us, but we love to be quite expressive in what we do and the style that we write, and this has got my friend Ben Tricky on the guitar, and the solo that he did is absolutely phenomenal. And the thing is, if we ever have to play these stuff live, I've got to learn it all. So unless I can afford to pay them to come and play a show with us, but I've got my work cut out because some of these solos on this album are just ridiculous. Anyway, let's go.
I just wanna hear free say I can't say goodbye.
So that was One More Day. Really, really, really enjoyed making that track. Spent a lot of time on it. It's probably actually one of the most ambitious mixes I've ever done. But yeah, very, very happy. Dream collaboration. Gosh, that'll be really challenging. Other than Chris de Burgh himself, Lady in Red. No, I'm kidding. That's probably really difficult within the genre. I mean, typically it'll be the Midnights and Gunships. Out of the genre, honestly, I'm massively pop. So to work with Max Martin, Dean would probably say the same. But obviously, as him as a writer producer, he's God. But I'd love to work with One Republic, Griffin, Illenium would be good fun as well. Bands like that. Maybe out of the genre, they'd probably go for someone like Bring Me the Horizon, kind of a bit darker. Maybe The Night Game. I mean, Boys Like Girls are back now. Maybe work with Boys Like Girls. I mean, there's so many, but love it. Dean, you're in the chat, so you can answer some of these as well from your perspective. But I'll have to give it some thought. I'll have a think over the next track, shall I? So this next one's, the way that we look at it is a bit of a free fall too. I started it in the again in the pandemic, so sort of wrote a lot of stuff because we had so much time on our hands. And given that I work in the events industry as well, with sort of doing sound stuff and mixing front of house, all of my jobs were cancelled, so I was just sat at home twiddling my thumbs, trying to work out and walk my dog. But this one here is effectively, I think we look at it as a bit of a free fallish type track, and it's called Ascension. And I originally started it, and I thought, just a bass line, a few of the lead lines and things like that, and I titled it as a working title, Cheese Pop, and but you come up with the most random, stupid names for half of our stuff when they're in the working in progress stage. I won't tell you them all yet, but anyway, listen to this one. It's a bit more of a peaceful, relaxed track. Let us know what you think in the comments, and feel free to ask any other questions anyway. Cheers. So that was Ascension. I've just seen Jamie Nolan has arrived in the chat. Hello, Jamie. Jamie's one of my friends from back home. He actually, Jamie's wife found us the link into BBC Radio 5 Live yesterday. He's like, "Oh, mate, you gotta get on this. They're doing a synth pop month." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll drop them a message." Within about 20 minutes, they'd called me up and they were like, "Okay, you ready to come on the show?" And it was probably the most fleeting interview I've ever had in my life. But nonetheless, who doesn't want to be on BBC Radio 5 Live right when Luton Town are about to play West Ham? Oh my word, unbelievable. Brad, you asked favourite musician outside of synthwave genre. This is more for nostalgia's sake for me, but I'd probably go for Miles Kennedy as a vocalist. March Monty on the guitar. Absolutely love the way that he plays, and I very much come from that kind of heavier background. But I mean, I could probably go more tasteful, more classy, or whatever. But either way, forgive me if that's not to your liking. So that was Ascension. Nice little sort of peaceful track in the middle. This next one's called When You Need Me, and funnily enough, a bit like One More Day, the one before Ascension, we had a similar sort of setup where we'd done a remix for someone, and then we decided actually we'd rather use this ourselves. So we pulled it, and I think I was working at the Royal Institute of Anaesthetics, and I was sat there so bored, had nothing else to do. So I just put some headphones in, and I just wrote this vocal. And then my friend Zana was up for the task, and she's got a stunning voice. And yeah, I guess this is where we ended up with the final song. But this came out actually in 2019 as a single. And we felt this would be the adequate home to have it as part of the album package, given this sort of sound that we have on the album. But yeah, anyway, let's dive in. Cheers for the comments, Jamie. That's very kind of you, mate.
It's been a day, a week, a month, now a year. No, a day goes by, I don't wish you were here. Now all the things we did in my dreams, and I'll admit it. Now I've lost all my sense, I can't seem to forget it. Tell me you let me know when you're alone. I'll be beside the phone. Will you call when you need me? Say when you need me. Let me know when you're alone. I'll be beside the phone. Will you call when you need me? Say when you need me. Will you give me time? Say you'll be mine. Remember when we found the butterflies? You were on my side, and you could feel my heartbeat. When you turned away, I knew you were cold. In my head, I'd already seen us grow old. You know, I always love to see you smile, your hand to hold. And I miss every day that she gets to be yours. Tell me you let me know when you're Tell me and let me know when you're alone. I'll be beside the phone. Will you call when you need me? Say when you need me. Let me know when you're alone. I'll be beside the phone. Will you call when you need me? Say when you need me. Will you give me time? Say you'll be mine. Will you call when you need me? Say when you need me. Remember when we found the butterflies? When you were on my side, and you could feel my heartbeat,
There you go. That's When You Need Me featuring Xana. Jamie, where do you take inspiration from for your album artworks? I think it kind of, obviously with it being at sort of 80s nostalgia, we quite like all the classic movies. And lately we've been more curious in the mystery, and I don't want to sound too sort of pretentious and stupid really, but if like Dean obviously did In the Deepest of Dreams, and Dean does this professionally, sort of creates artworks and things like that. He's like a really phenomenal graphic designer. He pulled In the Deepest of Dreams together and it showed me it, and I was like, bloody hell, man, it's like something out of an 80s film, whether it's E.T., Close Encounters, Stranger Things, that kind of vibe. And the last ones that are with Ski, so the one for this album, Leave Something Behind, and Until Now, and Returning Home, I came up with the sort of idea or the concept. And honestly, I posted some really bad. I'm so bad at drawing. I'm so bad at Photoshop. I can't even use it. I use like, I don't know, Bitmap, or I don't know, it was something ape. GIMP, was it GIMP? I can't remember. It's probably a politically incorrect term these days. But anyway, I used that, and if I showed you some of the artwork that I created, that was what Ski then developed, you would laugh your faces off at me. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that. But that's essentially that sci-fi side of the 80s thing. And so with this vinyl, if you buy the vinyl, so here's a vinyl plug coming. Time Slave have it on their Bandcamp at the moment. There's a white one which I think looks really sort of classy and pure, and then there's a blue one with a black stripe as well, which is really funky. And I think there's a few left of both, but they're going pretty quickly. And then there's cassette, minidisc, CD as well. So if you jump on the Bandcamp, feel free to grab one of those. But anyway, back to the artwork side. On the rear of the I'm talking too fast. I feel like I'm just gulping air. On the rear of the vinyl, on the front there's a guy stood in the window, and there's like this light beaming through, and on the rear the guy's gone, and the room's just dark and empty. And so those who get the vinyl will see that. So it's quite like, ooh, what happened? Did he just walk out the room and go to the kitchen, or did he disappear? Or so we sort of want to leave a open-endedness to it. Anyway, paint. Yeah, Dean, there you go. Paint. That'll do. Anyway, next song, Edge of Oblivion. This one sort of came together. Myself and Dean, we both write or produce on each other's tracks all the time, and this one we both had portions of vocals. So I had this chorus vocal, and Dean had, I think he had 2 verses, but I had part of a verse, and I was like, right, well, should we try and mash these together? And essentially that's what's happened. And then it just sort of grew into a sort of anthemic kind of track. And I said, "Oh, we should have a guitar solo on this one," and no word of a lie, Mac, who's one of my friends, like I'm going to be completely honest, I'm very very average at the guitar, if not the worst guitarist that I know. Um, I can just about get by, like I do all the stuff that's on the albums otherwise. But when you want a solo that's like this, you go to someone who tours internationally, and like Tricky, who played on One More Day, and this is Matt Douglas. The speed and just the slickness of this solo is unbelievable. Anyway, that comes about here in the track somewhere. So let's dive in. This is Edge of Oblivion. Enjoy. Let me see if I can get to the start.
I was falling down with my eyes closed, but I never hit the ground. Now I walk around and I know that I give in to my doubts. You don't know it, but you're on the edge of oblivion. On the edge of oblivion. On the edge of oblivion. I can hardly move, barely look you in the eye. Lost in a daydream, I know we can survive. Keep it together, we are stronger than yesterday. It's not too late now, we can find a way. You don't know it, but you're on the edge of oblivion. On the edge of oblivion. You don't know it, but you're on the edge of oblivion. 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 On the edge of oblivion.
Okay, so if you didn't get the gist that you were on the edge of oblivion by the end of that song, I think there's something very wrong. Yeah, so that solo, Matt Douglas, hats off to him there. Oh, thank you for the harmonies. Compliment. That's me, baby. That's me. I grab downstairs, squeeze really hard, and just go for it. Next song, So this one's called Change, and originally this started out in the pandemic. I wrote the intro, like all the music aspect, and it was supposed to be the chorus, and then I think I later took it to Dean, and he was like, "No, that should be the intro, and now we're gonna make this this other bit the chorus." And this one's got a really bit of funny trivia for you. Dean he's a perfectionist, he's very good, but obviously when we have an opinion on things, we'll sometimes have to find a compromise or things like that. And I think once we've recorded a vocal, and I know, because I'm the one who's like producing the vocal on that end of things, I'll be like, Dean, this is it, you've nailed it, you've got the vocal down. And he'll be like, no, I'm not happy. And I'll be like, you won't do this better, you literally smashed it, I'm really happy with it. Like, everything I do now is down to the mix and that process. And there's this one word where he was like, put. And in the end, I think I just could not hear what he was going on about, but I'm really happy with it. It sounds phenomenal. And it's when he goes, I just put it off. And I was thinking, did he think he was going, I just part it off for another day? Like classic Brit. But no, it sounds great. I was really happy with it. It is quite a belt. It's quite a high vocal, but yeah, really happy with this one. I love the build here. No, is it here? It goes into the outro, where I do some squealy bits in the background as well. Anyway, let's dive in. This is Change.
When you're losing everything that you held on to, it helps you start again. And removing anything that held you back, I know it's easy to forget. I'll just put it off to another day, that I won't come back to wherever it leads to, that I'm wanting to change. And when you're falling down, remember what you need to get back on your feet. And if I'm not around, just tell me I'll come back and never leave. I'll just put it off to another day, that I won't come back to
So that is change for you. I just had Dean on the other end of the phone, and he was like, "Oh, I showed him the artwork design for the Leave Something Behind that you did." And we can't put it in the chat for some reason, but I'm going to try and show you it on the camera. This is like one of those weird robotic cameras. So it might just completely go berserk, so apologies for that. But here we go. I'm going to try this now. Is that working? Okay, it doesn't really show the colours, so there's some weird sort of white balance thing going on here with my room. In fact, I look like I'm orange and the rest of the room looks like it's black and white, so there's clearly something wrong. Those are all colours. They're like pink and blue, so there's something wrong. That's my bad. First stream, guys, forgive me. So that was change. Next song's Reach Out. Probably feels a little bit more trappy, but then goes into a poppy chorus, and then a bit of that sort of, not I'd say, a little bit future bassy in the second part of the choruses. There's slippers on the floor. Oh, you're talking about in the picture. I thought you were talking about in the room. Anyway, so yeah, this is Reach Out. And yeah, it's a bit of a bop, but I think I was quite intentional about Dean's vocal being really dry and really close on this one. And obviously it sort of like gets a bit more room in the choruses, but very dry, up close and personal, quite more intimate feeling. It gives a bit of variety as well. But yeah, anyway, let's dive into this one. Love the fill coming up.
When I need to reach out.
at the end of that made Dean's vocal come really back close again. That little like make. I should totally change that to cake. Right, this next song, Where Time Can Stop. This one's one of those songs where the vocal starts really late on. And it's quite a slow burner, but really epic, huge sort of ballady feel. And this is the only time Sam, Dean's missus, has a producer credit. So if you are on Spotify and you look at the credits, she has a producer credit, and that's because she made the vital decision at the end of when to stop the clock. And the clock in this song is, it sounds beautiful, but it's instrumental. So yeah, let's dive into this. But it's quite an epic one. Very sort of peaceful. Builds up about midway through, and then huge ending. But yeah, just listen for when the clock stops at the very end. You'll be like, oh. Anyway, let's go.
Time can't stop.
So there it is. That is the second to last track, Where Time Can Stop. Hello, Adam. Hope you're doing well, mate. Having a run. Oh, nice. I wish I was keeping as fit as you are, mate. Blimey neck. I feel like I don't have the time, and you're the one with the full family. So, anyway, farewell. This track is far more your sort of Blade Runner-y. I don't know how best to describe it, but I'd say the sort of Blade Runner end, but it's got a certain hint of nostalgia and emotion. There's no drums really, other than like a couple of builds. It's the last song, so obviously I'll say thanks and cheers at the end and goodbye and everything. But thanks for sticking with us, whoever's still in here. It's hard to know really because I can't really tell on the screen who's in the chat. But thanks for being part of the first New Arcades live stream, and hopefully there'll be many more. And I might even do some gaming. So if you're up for that, I can certainly be quite animated sometimes and scream the house down, especially if I play any scary games. But tend to play a bit of Warzone, that kind of stuff. So if anyone's into that kind of thing, might do it. But that's if I get the time. I honestly don't get that much time, to be fair. So yeah, maybe it's just a pipe dream, and we'll go from there. Anyway, this is farewell, and thanks for listening, everybody. And there you have it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening. That was Farewell. That's the sort of Blade Runner-y, interstellar-y sort of vibey track. Appreciate the comments, guys. Adam, no worries. I'm going to put this on YouTube, I think, because it failed to stream to YouTube anyway. And Craig, thanks for that. Brad, thank you so much, mate. I probably will do some more nitty-gritty ones so I could break down the actual production process, how I mix, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, thank you, everybody, for coming to the New Arcade stream. And I hope that the audio was okay at your end and everything worked well enough. But I'm going to dash now and go watch the UFC because I like watching people just like punching stuff. Anyway, big love and thanks so much, everybody. I'll catch you soon. Peace.